Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Tall Tesla Guy. So, on this channel, like you've seen before, if you're a returning viewer, you know we talk about everything kind of tech. There's some DIY stuff on here. Certainly Tesla. We really dive into everything Tesla. And then some of it is from a point of view of a tall person. I'm 6'5". I mentioned it before. I'm not the tallest, but I'm definitely a little bit higher than average, say. And you know, kind of how we're living our lives and how we're kind of getting through some of the stuff that's going on today. So today specifically, we're going to dive into the reason why we bought a Model Y, right? So we've had a couple other videos talking about you know, how wonderful the Model Y is versus other cars, stuff like that. But you know, in our case, we needed an extra vehicle, and we just jumped right in, right? So we started diving into everything Tesla, and then we nearly bought it on the spot. So like I said before, if it's your first time here, consider subscribing. We put new videos in once a week. Hit that like button just so we can help out the algorithm. If you're a returning viewer, really appreciate your support. Thanks for coming back, and I hope you like the video. If you have any questions, throw it in the comments, and we'll get started. So, you know, kind of like I mentioned, we needed an extra car. We're both working from home now, but we're going to be going back to work eventually. So we have a wonderful Volkswagen Passat, which, you know, touching on my height, being that I'm 6'5". Now, I am predominantly legs. Obviously, I have upper body, of course, but I have really long legs. So I'm always dealing with, you know, steering wheel in the middle of the legs and stuff like that. It's not a comfortable drive. We take a lot of long road trips. We've been from Maine to California, Montana. We lived there as well, down in Arizona, currently in Ohio, that sort of thing. So definitely cross-country trips, multiple hours. Now, this is before our baby, but nonetheless, I needed to have something that I was comfortable in. I wanted to be happy driving it. I wanted to feel the excitement of the car, but I also wanted to be able to get out without having to get out of a, you know, climb out of a clown car when I got there. So, you know, we had to consider all that kind of stuff. Now, my wife is about 5'7", so she's not short by any means, but she's about average height, you know, somewhere in the mix there. And I have a taller friend who's actually 6'8", right? So he's actually the one that initially started us down this Tesla journey, in that he bought a Model 3 for himself and his wife and their daughter. Like I said, 6'8". He needed to be able to fit in, and I thought, well, if he could fit in it, I could certainly fit in it. We wanted to have a little bit more space just because we have a lot of junk that we haul around with us. So that's why the Model Y came into play versus the 3. But I was going into it with a little bit of comfort, which is nice. But in reality, we went to the Tesla dealership, or showroom, I should say, because it's not really a dealership. And we just kind of toured the parking lot. Now, this is right in the middle of everything that's going on right now. So it's not like we were going to be jumping in and out of cars. We didn't want to have to deal with a dealership, a traditional dealership anyway. And, you know, all of the salespeople and the, you know, back and forth with the cars and all that kind of stuff. So we wanted something that we were going to be comfortable with as far as the vehicle, but also comfortable with the buying situation, which is everything that Tesla had, right? So everything is online. You can buy everything online. You don't even have to go there. We were really curious to see a Model Y because, as you know, they launched, you know, only a few months back, say March, April. In reality, you probably didn't see them on the road until June, or May, June, unless you lived in like California, just because they didn't make it out into the real world yet. We're starting to see them now, but they're kind of, you know, here and there, very far between. There's one in our neighborhood, but you know, for the most part, we've only seen maybe 3 of them. So at the time we went to pull the trigger on this, we had never even really seen one other than on the computer. So, you know, it looks beautiful, and their screenshots look fantastic. Their promo videos look great, but without having to actually, you know, touch it and you know, get a realistic view of how everything is actually going to fit, it kind of looks like a bubble a little bit. We just wasn't very comfortable with just buying it without kind of seeing it. So we did go down to the showroom. We took a look at one they had in the parking lot. It was one that they were letting people test drive, and I talked about the test drive in a previous video, but we did do a test drive. It's all touchless. You don't even, you know, you show up there, they turn the car on for you from the showroom. So, I mean, you basically don't have to touch anybody, you talk to anybody, you come back, you just park in the parking space, and you get out of there, and you're gone. They also know that 80% of the people, which seems a little high, so maybe like 60% of the people that test drive them, buy them, because you really enjoy the driving experience. So they don't even have to bother, you know, with any sort of pushy salespeople or anything like that. In fact, the people in the showroom are actually called product specialists instead of salespeople, which is probably a Tesla word for salespeople, but nonetheless, we didn't have to deal with anybody. We didn't have to talk to anybody, touch anybody, anything like that. So, you know, that part of the experience was fantastic for us. But in reality, I mean, we had the money ready to go for the down payment, the money ready to go for the deposit, which is only $100 now. and probably for months, right? So the Model Y came out technically in March, April, really, but showed up on their website April, May, and then, like I said, you didn't see any of them in the wild or anything like that at this point. But we, without even seeing it, sight unseen completely, we were ready to just buy it. It was only the fact that I thought to myself, I would love to be able to fit in this car comfortably. We want to take it on road trips. We want to travel the country with it. I want to make sure that I fit without having my legs in my face. So that's the main reason why we took it for the test drive. And it's, as far as the Model 3 comparison, I mean, everything from the frame, the seats themselves, the interior design is exactly the same as the Model 3. It's just you have a hatchback. It's got a little bit more space in it. And then on top of that, the seats are actually lifted up. They're on brackets that puts them about 2-3 inches off the ground, or a little bit higher off the base of the car versus the Model 3. So instead of being more of a bucket, you're kind of lifted up a little bit. So then I thought to myself, well, I don't want to hit my head on the glass ceiling. Like I said, I'm not all upper body. I'm a lot, really mostly legs, but I don't want my head hitting the ceiling and that fit. So we jumped in the car. We made sure that everything fit. We drove it for maybe, you get 20 minutes on a test drive. We drove it for maybe 5 minutes. And then we went right back to the dealership, parked it there, and we left. And then we went home and we put in our $100 deposit on the car, and we placed the order. And then we waited about 2 months, but nonetheless, we placed the order and we were ready to go. So as far as buying it without considering anything else, we didn't test drive any other car before doing this. It was really just jumping into, considering the Tesla, considering everything about it. A couple things we'll talk about here in a minute, and then just pulling the trigger and taking care of it. So why Tesla specifically? I mean, obviously the price point's a little bit higher than other cars, which is understandable. I mean, it is kind of borderline a luxury vehicle. It's obviously an electric vehicle. It's our first electric vehicle ever. So we're going from a gas car that we've had for our entire lives to an electric vehicle. So it's a complete jump. I mean, for sure, obviously. We're excited about that part of it, though. We're excited about the opportunity to try something new. I mean, we ran a 240 outlet into our garage so we can charge it at home. We'll talk about that in a different video as well. We have the space all set up for it. We bought our accessories that we need for it. Some of the things that'll make it more comfortable for us and stuff like that for what we use it for. And then we're just ready to go with it. Now, a couple of things we considered before buying it, though. I mean, now in reality, we would have just jumped right in and bought anything that was there because we really liked it. Obviously the color, the interior styling that we wanted. You only get two choices anyway, but we went for the black because we went for the midnight gray on the outside. We really like the way that it looks in general, just the overall design of it, the flow of it, the panoramic glass roof is amazing. We're excited about that too, but a couple of different things that we were looking at for it. I mean, we wanted to make sure we had the range. Like I said, we do those long road trips. Now, I know the supercharging network is fantastic. I mean, you can see that they're everywhere. Everywhere you want to be, really, off of highways, everything like that, which is great because we do a lot of inter-country travel, I guess. We're probably not going to take it over to Europe. We may go into Canada, not likely Mexico, but we wanted to make sure we had enough charge to get where we needed to go. So 336 miles per charge, or full charge anyway on the Model Y, which is fantastic. Even if you take 20% off of that because you don't typically charge it all the way, putting us around 300 miles, 280. I mean, that's more than enough. What we need in a typical day, going to work, traveling around, and then we go down to Kentucky a lot, which is about 3 hours car ride. So we have enough range to get down there, charge down there, get back, something like that. So we wanted to make sure we had that. We wanted to have the cargo space for, all the stuff. Like I said, we have a lot of stuff. We have a dog. We have our child. She's 16 months old. So, I mean, she just has a lot of stuff that we bring with her, diaper bag, stuff like that. We wanted to make sure we had the storage. And now the Model Y, just like any other Tesla, you have the front. It's got all the space, the front trunk anyway. It's got all the space where a typical engine would be, that you can put stuff, a soft-sided cooler even. The back, you have these two compartments. It doesn't come with a spare tire, which is a little odd for us, but it doesn't come with a spare tire. So you have these huge compartments in the back. And then on top of that, ample trunk space, right? So we bought a pet, seat protector or whatever, that we put in the back of it because he's got a lot of hair. It's a golden retriever. We wanted to kind of contain that a little bit so the golden retriever fits back there perfectly. We even have space underneath where he'll be to put luggage and accessories, baby stuff, that sort of stuff. We have a umbrella stroller that'll fit in there too. So we wanted to have the space, and we just wanted to have more space for stuff. And then on top of that, we're going to take it camping, right? So I'm 6'5". I know that you can sleep in the car. I'm not sure as though 6'5" is sleeping in the car, but we're gonna test it out. So my wife, myself, and our baby, we're all gonna sleep in the car. We're gonna go camping, probably for one night before we end up getting a cabin of some sort. But nonetheless, I'm gonna I'll put a video out about that as well. But we're gonna be doing that down the road, and we needed to have the space. Like I said, we love the styling. I love the fact that it'll fit a 6'5" person, being myself, and then my family. And then really, we were kind of getting over the range anxiety with the 330 miles per full charge, and then the supercharger network helped out too. So that's what kind of pushed us towards a Tesla versus like any other electric vehicle that they have out there. I mean, in addition to like the hybrids and stuff like that, we really wanted to go for kind of go for it if we were going to do it. So all those things considered, I mean, we tend to be like sight unseen kind of people anyway, and I know a lot of people aren't like that. We bought houses from different states when we were moving and stuff that we didn't get the opportunity to go into first. We're comfortable with that kind of stuff, so that kind of helped. But I mean, what I would tell you, if you're really considering a Tesla, jump in there. You can take a test drive. You schedule it online. You go, touchless, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, you're gonna love it. Everybody talks about the acceleration rate as soon as you push the accelerator. The instant torque that you get from the electric vehicle, and you're gonna find that in any electric vehicle, Tesla just seems to have everything kind of with it, right? It's got the suspension, and I know it doesn't have an air ride suspension. We didn't get the performance version, but nonetheless, the feel when you hit the accelerator just kind of takes off, and you kind of feel it. So there's an excitement of driving, and then it's all about the comfort. So the more videos to come down the road talking about once we do get it, we pick it up in 4 days. We're supposed to get it this Saturday, so I'll definitely film that part of it, show everybody, and then once we get going, show about the accessories and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys have any questions or comments, throw them in the bottom. Hope you enjoyed the video. Think about subscribing if you haven't already. Smash that like button, just for the algorithm and that sort of thing. And thanks for listening to another video from the Tall Tesla Guy. Hope you guys have a great day and stay safe out there.